You're just making a cult out of Christianity.
When this judgmental student accused Cliffe of making a cult out of Christianity, Cliffe responded with the humble truth that exposed her statement.
You're just making a cult out of Christianity. You like to say that Jesus was
I'm saying I'm a beggar, and I have found where living bread is in a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and I've come to tell fellow beggars where they too can find bread in your own relationship with Jesus. Don't come to me.
You obviously don't have a relationship with Jesus because Jesus was 2,000 years ago. You know?
He rose from the dead. He's alive.
Yeah,
Jesus in John 14:6
you know
said,
who John is?
I am the
He
way,
lived
the
50
truth, and the
years
life.
after Jesus
No
was
one comes
dead.
to the Father
Okay,
except through me. I didn't say that.
John
Jesus
never
said it.
knew Jesus.
How do you know that?
Because of like the way the documentation that was found, his like writings, carbonization, like dating and everything. People have found that certain scriptures were written way past the time that
Really?
Jesus
How
was
long
crucified.
past? How long?
At least 50 years.
At least 50.
Now think about it. If you were not around the time like 50 years ago, your ideas and your intuition of what happened 50 years ago would not be the same as what was going on in that time. You know, you are misconstruing a lot of what went on 2,000 years ago and making this whole like religiosity out of it. You know, you can't begin to imagine what went on 2,000 years ago. And that's
right, I don't imagine.
But yet you
I go to the historical documents, the gospel.
You're interrupting me, but you know, those documents were written many years after Jesus lived.
Give me the evidence to back that up.
Never knew him personally.
That's totally wrong.
No, it isn't.
We have the writings of Papias, man. We have the writings of the early church fathers in the 80s and in the 90s AD.
100 years after Jesus died.
When did Jesus die?
Well, accordingly
30 to 33 AD.
Look.
Before the end of the first century, the church fathers were quoting the Gospels in letters that they wrote. So obviously the Gospels were not written long afterwards. They were written a few years afterwards. Christ comes to reconcile us to God. He comes to redeem us. That's why he bled and died on a cross, to pay the penalty for our sin, to reconcile us, to restore us to a right relationship with God.